Since my last vidcast was a little bit more heavy-handed, I decided to do something a little bit more lighthearted by doing a new edition of Comics, Cartoons, and Coffee, the vidcast where I talk about all things comics, cartoons, and, well, coffee, especially while enjoying a delicious brew. And this time I will be reviewing Conan, Scourge of the Serpent, Issue 1. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast, new edition of Comics, Cartoons, and Coffee. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. So like I said, Comics, Cartoons, and Coffee is a little bit different than my vidcast where I focus more on pop culture commentary. Sometimes I do reviews on there like I do for the Rippaverse, but this is meant to be more lighthearted, a little bit more relaxed than my vidcast already is. So I haven't done one in a while, that's why I'm rehashing this. But today I wanted to review the Titan comic Conan, Scourge of the Serpent, Issue 1. For those of you watching, I am a big Robert E. Howard fan. I love Conan the Barbarian, Solomon Kane, Cole the Conqueror, etc. He is a fantastic American author who was taken way too young from us. I think if he had lived on, he would have written so many incredible stories and we would have seen more of Conan's adventures, Solomon Kane's quest, and Cole conquering more, as it were. But all that to say, he will be missed, and since a lot of his works are in the public domain, we can continue to see more of them. Now, some corporation is claiming they have a lockdown on certain titles, which isn't true. It's in the public domain. Either way, I wanted to take a look because Titan Comics is trying their hand at Conan the Barbarian with Conan Scourge of the Serpent. Now, Titan Comics has done a long-running Conan series, and I have not read that, but as you can see, it was Free Comic Day. And yes, I know I'm a little behind. Free Comic Day was, earlier in May 2025, but I just now got around to reading this because I'm so far behind with all the indie stuff I'm doing. I didn't really have time to get up on what the more mainstream comic book industries are doing. So this was a lot of fun for me to pick up. What we have here is a new comic that is written by Grim Jim Zub with art from Ivan Gill. And I have to say, the artwork is really impressive. You can see there is Conan, A Simple Steel is the name of this issue. And there is Conan in all of his barbaric glory. The serpent isn't introduced in this first issue. They kind of hint at it. I think that the hint should have been a little bit better, especially since this is a subtitled series. All they really do is give like a little small hint and also a weird flash forward scene. Those are the only two things I didn't like about it. Otherwise, this is an excellent Conan the Barbarian story. Basically, what he's doing is he's breaking into this noble's home and he discovers that the noble has guards, a dog, which I actually think is kind of cool because Conan the Barbarian, he doesn't hurt the dog, he just gives the dog food and the dog immediately doesn't alert anyone to Conan's presence, which that was kind of funny. Otherwise, outside of those two criticisms I had of it, that being that the serpent is very little hinted at and that there was a weird flash forward scene, I thought it was very well written. It definitely got me interested in the series. I'm trying to decide now if I want to move forward with it. One of the cool thing is they have the map of Chimeria, which is where Conan is from. That's where the world takes place. Look at this full spread map. This is so impressive. Right now, this is where the story takes place in this little red dot circle. I'm going to show you a few other images just because I really enjoy the artwork here. There is some impressive art that is on display. So here's Conan interacting with the nobleman. He discovers that the nobleman is poor, and so Conan is deciding what to do with him, and this nobleman wants to bargain, basically. I thought this was really good. Just to note, it is not for kids. This is at least rated for, I would say, 15 and up because it is very violent, being a Conan the Barbarian story. There's a lot of adult themes in it. So I would not recommend this one for the kiddies, but if you're like me in your mid 30s, still collecting comic books, this is probably the one for you. And I can't wait to see where the series goes. Like I said, I'm still debating whether I'm going to pick it up because I'm so invested in indie comics right now. I'm not even really reading Batman or Spider-Man just because of how terrible the writers have been for that series and the artists, quite frankly. So I'm going back and forth on whether I want to take another chance on an series. Right now, the only Batman thing I'm reading is the new Long Halloween that is being released. So we'll see if I'm even going to continue that series. But anyway, I did think this was really good. Titan Comics is usually pretty reliable with their material. I do enjoy their stuff. I really liked their Robotech stuff. So I'm curious to see where they're going to take Conan the Barbarian. I hope you enjoyed this segment of comics, cartoons, and coffee. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment, tell what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post new vidcast, including my main StudioJake vidcast, as well as comics, cartoons, and coffee. Consider becoming a channel member. But if you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com. You'll find even more of my pop culture commentary, including reviews for things like comic books, for novels, for anime, television, film, and so much more. Most of my articles are free to read, or you can sign up for different award tiers. That's the way you can support me. Thank you in advance for doing it, as it unlocks some pretty cool perks. Also on my website is the creatively titled Buy My Books section. That's where you can purchase one or all four of my novels that are out right now on Amazon.com. You can also find out more of my books by going to studiojakemedia.locals.com, where you can also read my poems and short stories for free. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake. 'Cause I've been